could it be another case of the system failing another vulnerable St. Lucian child? As far as the mother of a 4-year-old Million Jean-Baptiste is concerned, that is the case. The youngster died last week at Victoria Hospital, suspected of being the victim of physical abuse. In an interview with the St. Lucia Times, Ms. Jean-Baptiste, Talicia Jean-Baptiste that is, says categorically that the Department of Human Services failed her and her son. The 24-year-old says that because she did not have a stable home, the department recommended that Million lived with his father and the stepmother at Grand Ravine in Dennery. She had him on occasions and would return him to his father. However, she said when she saw what she believed were signs of abuse, she contacted the Department of Human Services. According to the 24-year-old grieving mother, she accompanied those reports with pictures, but nothing was ever done. Talicia Jean-Baptiste says she wants justice for her son. She says she's angry and frustrated because the father and stepmother keep giving different accounts of what happened to the defenseless child. 4-year-old Million Jean-Baptiste was admitted to Victoria Hospital on Sunday, 4th October, and died on Saturday, October 10. A post-mortem examination is scheduled for Tuesday, October 13, and the results of which are expected to influence police investigations. Meantime, child rights advocate and director of the Caribbean Mentorship Institute, St. Lucian Felicia Brown, believes there is a greater need for social intervention where children are in violent domestic situations. The lecturer in gender studies at the Cayville campus in Barbados says there is too much contradiction in the society when it comes to corporal punishment. While government, she notes, signed onto international conventions condemning the act, it remains authorized at schools and laws don't go far enough in addressing it in the homes. Moreover, the culture of acceptance prevents neighbors from intervening.
The state as well as the agency must be held accountable for the lives of young persons, especially children, due to the fact that they are placed at risk not only by their parents or guardians, but children live in a community, and again they do not have the faculty of mind as adults, and so the state as well as the agency must be held accountable when such cases arrive. There is also a fundamental need for the eradication of all forms of violence towards children. And so there is a contradiction where the state makes the claim that we should not practice any form of violence towards children, yet at the same time corporal punishment is still permissible in St. Lucia and other countries. And so these are some of the contradictions that we want persons to be aware of, and we want the state to act more responsible where children when the lives of children are at risk. And so what we're trying to do as much as possible is to educate parents and guardians on continuously how do we educate our persons on forms and peaceful forms of disciplinary methods. How do we eradicate that form of violence towards children, especially in the home? So the family law is very clear on the kinds of disciplinary practices that parents or guardians adhere to. However, the law, we still need to advocate to end violence and to end all forms of violence toward children, whether it's in the physical aspect, whether it's emotional or psychological.
It is reported that 4-year-old Million Jean-Baptiste had been diagnosed with swelling in the brain, and there appeared to have been marks of violence about his body, including what seemed to have been a bite mark on his chest and bruises on his face and ears when admitted to hospital. Other police news: on Thursday, October 8, a post-mortem examination was conducted on the body of 44-year-old O'Brien Antoine of Monde Castries. That examination revealed that Antoine died as a result of multiple organ failure due to ingestion of a poisonous substance. Investigations are continuing into this matter. Relatives report that Antoine had been accosted by two masked men at Shock Beach, where he was beaten, robbed of $60, and forced to ingest the noxious substance.